Hello everyone, Johnny Minder here, and today we are continuing to learn Japanese with Pokémon Snap. Last time we unlocked the fourth course, we did it, went through the camera check and Professor Oak's check, and we ended there, so we have to see what Oak has to say after that. And yeah, so without further ado, let's start. And yeah, we have to load our state, our save state. As you can see, we had another Jitsu Wana, and so yeah, Oak has something to say when we go back to the lab, and we'll do so now. The usual "ya okaeri," but hello there, welcome back. This, I think we have seen it before, but I still at least translate it. As for the photographing, it looks like it's going well. So then literally Sokode being there, as in at that being that the case, in order for you to make even more good progress. And yeah, pretty sure we have seen this before. If you have seen that episode, you have watched it. It was when we got the Pokemon food from Oak. And yeah, again, he's giving us another present. And again, same writing, so I simply translate it instead of explaining word by word and so on. It's a present from me. It will certainly be useful for photographing Pokemon. Literally the photographing of Pokemon. And this one, I'm pretty sure is actually new. So we'll actually explain it word by word as usual when we find a new writing. Yeah, first and foremost, it says Kakureteiru Pokemon o Tobi Dasasetai. First and foremost, we have Kakureteiru from Kakureru. The verb itself, we've seen it before in this series. It means to hide, as in to conceal oneself. It's the intransitive form of the verb. The transitive one is kakusu. Let's check its accent just to be sure. Yeah, it was actually, it's actually accented. So kakureru and kakusu. respectively. It's a ru verb, it's then verb, so we can drop the ru and add te to make that a form. In this case required because then we add the auxiliary verb iru. On its own, as usual, it means to be, as in to exist. There also in translation there is, there are. Unaccented is the one used for as a verb on its own for animate objects, so actually people and animals. But after the form of a verb, it's used to make continuing, to express continuing action or state. So either the be doing form, to be doing the action of the verb, or has been done. In this case, I'd say simply continuing action, so simply are hiding. We'll see it. I use the plural, of course, considering the following noun modified by it. It's in an attributive position. If it were a clause, would be a relative clause. Noun, which is Pokémon, of course. So, literally Pokémon that are hiding. Of course, we can also simply say hiding Pokémon in translation. Then we have the object particle o, written as wo and pronounced as such in careful speech and singing. Last but not least, we have a verb, tobidas asetai, first and foremost from tobidasu, a compound verb. First and foremost, we have tobu. We've seen it before, and I'm pretty sure also in this very series. It means to fly, to soar, with a certain kanji. With another one, usually sometimes they can be used either way, but if we followed the rule, with the other kanji it means to jump, to leap, to spring, to bound, and so on. Clearly related, because technically to fly, to soar, you first have to jump, to leap. And yeah, so that's why we use technically the same strictly Japanese word for both verbs, even with the distinction by using the kanji, not in this case, of course, since it's all written in kana, unaccented. After that, well, first and foremost, it's a verb, codon verb, so we can change the u into i to make the continuative form, required in this case to make the compound to attach the second verb. Second verb, which is dasu, accented on its own, means to take out, to get out, to put out, and so on, various extended meanings. As the second verb of a compound, its meanings can either be out, simply enough, for example, to jump out, like in our case, actually. Another meaning, which is also pretty common, is to begin, to start to, or even better as a translation to burst into, because there's another verb used as the second part of compounds, which means to begin, to start to, while this one has the meaning, the peculiar meaning of being to burst into, and so not start willingly an action, not a regular to begin to start, and yeah, but lucky in our case it's simply out. And yeah, so tobidatsu, luckily accented also, means to jump out, to leap out, to fly out also. Other extended meanings. It's like dasu on its own, u verb, godan verb. So we can change the u into a, and then add se ru. Here we can only see the se because of further conjugation, to make the causative form of the verb. And so to make jump out, the causative forms of verbs are ru-verb-ichidan verbs, so we can drop the ru to make the continuative form, and in this case required to add then tai, an auxiliary adjective, as you can actually see. It's in E, so an auxiliary adjective, an E adjective, which means want to, would like to, and yes, simply that these meanings for, as I mentioned before, also for the first and second person. For the third one, we still use tai, but with a further conjugation, because it's required. But luckily here we simply have tai on its own. And yeah, being an E adjective, we can actually end it there, like in this case. And yes, so the translation becomes, the full translation is, you want to make the Pokemon, the hiding Pokemon, jump out. You could also see come out simply, but of course literally it would be jump out, fly out. And yeah, with that we can continue. And yeah, we get a new item, as you can see on the top left, right. Sorry. And Ox says, "Sonna toki ni wa kono iya boru o ayashishou na tokoro e nageru no da." First and foremost, we have sonna, again one of the koso ado words, close to both the speaker and the listener, so far from the speaker, close to the listener, a far from both, do, the interrogative, koso a usually unaccented, do accented on the first syllable. in this case we have sonna, which is a contraction of sono yona. Sono, first and foremost, the demonstrative adjective, so that. And by the way, here we have so simply to refer to something not actually there, as we see, that moment in general, as in what Oak described. And yeah, we can use so and a. There's a distinction between the two, but we'll see it when the time comes. For such abstract usages of these adjectives, these of koso ado, of these demonstratives in general. But yeah, in this sono, that, then yo, the usual noun which we have seen so many times, means on its own form, style, design, after nouns, also after nouns like, similar to, after verbs, way to, method of doing, again, and also after verbs appearing, looking, and yeah, all related to those meanings: form, style, way, method. Sono yo becomes, we then have to add na to attach it to a noun, and so then the contracted form becomes sonna. That kind of, that sort of, of course also simply such, like that in English, but yeah, literally that sort of, that kind of. And yeah, then after that we have the noun modified by it, which is in our case toki, which simply means time, time, hour, moment, also as in occasion, case, and so on. Yeah, the fundamental meaning would be time, but also in the sense of moment, and so also occasion, and so on. Then we have ni. In this case, the particle used for the translation would be at. The particle used for specific moments in for a specific time. At that kind of moment, that kind of occasion, case, literally would be. After that we have the topic particle wa, written as ha. And so as for that at that kind of occasion, case, literally time, moment. Then we have kono, the demonstrative adjective, but with ko this time, so this, and in this case, because ok most likely is actually is in the intention is that ok is showing us this ball and has it close to him. Well, even just because even if we stick to him showing it through the screen is close to him, so because of that. Yeah, this And then we have the name of the item in Japanese, which is iya iya boru. First and foremost, we have iya. We have seen it, not sure if in this series, I think so at least once, but also in previous ones. Iya is an adjective. By the way, I didn't mention that toki is accented on the last syllable. Just like, by the way, iya. Iya is an adjective, which means disliking, not wanting, unwilling, reluctant, unpleasant, and several similar words like disagreeable, nasty, and so on. Also used as an exclamation, as in no, quit it, stop. So yeah, literally we have that doubled. Really unpleasant. And then of course boru, simply ball from English. The classic word, of course, used in Pokémon. By the way, okay, the accent is actually one of those words which is unaccented. Usually English words in Japanese have the same accent as in English. There have been some exceptions, some slightly different accents, and also unaccented words like this one, boru. Then we have the object particle o. Then we have an adjective, ayashi so. First and foremost, the adjective ayashi, suspicious, dubious, and so on. Also, by extension, doubtful, unsure, uncertain, untrustworthy, unreliable. But yeah, the fundamental meaning is suspicious. Should be accented. Nope, it's actually unaccented, so sorry, but yeah, it's one of those E adjectives that are unaccented. ISE. In this case, we drop the E to add so, an auxiliary word, I'd say in general. As we see also here, it becomes with so attached a na adjective. But yeah, this auxiliary means appearing that, seeming that, looking like, having the appearance of. Let's say this is the closest translation. And yeah, it's it gives that meaning, and it's an adjective. So to attach it to a following noun, we have to add the na. Following noun, which in this case it's tokoro. This we have seen multiple times throughout this series. In this case, it's in its fundamental meaning, which means place, spot, scene, site. Place is the fundamental meaning. Tokoro is unaccented. Then we have e, written as he, the particle, which means direction, so to, towards. And yeah, this is technically pure direction. We have seen that we can also use ni as direction, but also destination. Here simply towards. To. Then we have the verb nageru, which means to throw. Of course, because we are throwing the ball. Other similar meanings, it's accented. Last but not least, we have no da. No, the usual nominalizer for verbs. Can also be translated as fact and so on. Similar to koto, thing as in matter, contrasting with mono, thing as in an object. And then last but not least, we have the copula da. In this case, not za, simply because I guess ok is explained more formally, maybe. But yeah, we have the regular copula da. Za is the one Ok usually uses because it's old, and all characters in fiction use that usually. But yeah, no da, this expression means even simply it is that, but yeah, also several translations, as in the expectation this is that, the reason is that, the fact is that. You can see why we have no because of that. The explanation is that. And yeah, so we can translate it now. As for at that kind of moment, it is that, the fact is that you implied throw this really unpleasant ball, really nasty ball towards places that look suspicious. That seem suspicious. Then we have this. Similar to what he said before for the other item, but we'll check it anyway. Tsukai kata wa kantan. First and foremost, we have tsukai kata. From tsukau, the verb which means unaccented, by the way, to use. We can change the u in, it's a u verb codon verb, so we can change the u into it to make the continuative form of the verb. In this case, required to attach the noun kata, accented on the last syllable on its own, means direction, way. Also used, as I mentioned before, as the honorific for person, instead of hito, which is the generic term for person. We use kata as an honorific. But in this case, we have it as a suffix after a verb, and it means method of, manner of, or even better, closer to the translation, the original meaning, way of. Yeah, so literally it becomes tsukai kata. Let's see, I think we had found it's, it's unaccented last time, because this is practically the copy of what we have seen with the other item. Tsukai kata unaccented, literally way of using. way to use, also how to use, but yeah, literally way of using. We have a Japanese comma, then, well, of course, also the topic particle wa, the Japanese comma. And then, last but not least, in this part, we have kantan, an adjective, an adjective, which means simple, easy, unaccented, because makes sense since it's a Chinese compound. Those mostly are unaccented. Yeah, so as for the way of using it, implied, it's easy. By the way, being an adjective, technically we would need the copula, but here it's implied. But yeah, then of course we need it in translation. It's easy. Then he says, kamera o kamaete nai toki ni bi o osu dake ja. And here you can already see it at the end of the copula. Hulk usually uses ja because he's old. But yeah, first and foremost we have camera, of course. Camera, as in photo a camera for photographs from English, accented just like in English on the first syllable. Then we have the object particle o. Then we have the verb kamaete. Then it continues kamaete nai here, but it comes from kamaeru. We've seen it before, of course, considering it's used in this in this game, considering its context. In general, would mean to set up, well, better. Would be, well, to set up, in that case, usually of a house, a store, to build, to establish, and so on. Also to run, to maintain. But also in the sense to have at the ready, to hold in preparation, which is the one we need for the camera, and so on. Yeah, in our case, to hold in preparation. It's a ru verb, it's then verb, so we can drop the ru and add te to make the form. In this case required because again we make the form te iru. We can see it clearly here because it's shortened and also further conjugated. Iru is a ru verb, it's then verb, and so we can drop the ru to add nai and make the to make the negative nai again on its own. The adjective which means non-existent, not being there, and yeah, also used for the negative of verbs. In this case, it would be I nai. So again, te form, te iru form, continuing state or action. In this case, of course, in the negative, so not be holding the camera. After this, and notice that the shortening is that we don't have the I, it's dropped to make it shorter. After that we have a noun, and so actually camera o kamaete nai is a relative clause referred to the following noun, which is toki. Again, we have already seen time as moment, occasion, case. Then we have the particle ni, so at the moment, literally would be in which you aren't holding the camera. These expressions, talking after verbs, can simply mean also can be translated, and the meaning is similar to English when. But yeah, literally in Japanese it's at the moment, at the time of, in which, even better, in which, and then of course the relative clause. But yeah, let's continue. We have B as in the icon, the B button, then the object particle O. Then we have the verb osu. See it multiple times in not in just in this game, but also previous series, because it's a fundamental verb for video games. It means to push, and so of course also to push buttons. Osu, by the way, unaccented. Then we have dake, a particle which means only, just, simply. In other contexts, also as much as, to the extent of, enough to, most likely by extension, but with those only, just, simply, merely, no more than. But yeah, the fundamental meaning is just, as in both only or simply. And then, as mentioned at the start, we have the copula ja. And so yeah, the translation is literally again at the moment in which you aren't, you implied, aren't holding the camera. It's just, it's simply pressing, we have to adapt it in English, pressing the B button, or better, we could change it in English, and you only press, you simply press the B button. Yeah, better also in, and then of course in translation we could also simply say when you aren't holding the camera, you simply press the B button, and that's how you use it. Yeah, so actually identical to what we have seen for the Pokemon food, but there with the A button, here with the B button. And yeah, then we have this kore de kakureteiru Pokemon ga detekuru koto ga aru zo. First and foremost, we have kore de, kore, again, part of the Kosoado series. With re, we have the demonstrative pronoun, in this case. Then we have the de, which could be the particle with, as in the means, or even better, I'd say in this case, the te form of the copula, and so literally being this, the case, being like this, even better, closer to Japanese. So yeah, simply in reference, of course, to what has been said, what has been said before, in this case simply as in with this as in by using this ball, by pressing the B button, and so on. Then we have again Kakureteiru, and of course after that Pokemon. So Pokemon that are hiding, literally hiding Pokemon in translation, also we can say it. Then we have after Pokemon the subject particle ga, and then we have a verb, detekuru. First and foremost we have the verb deru, which means to come out, to also simply to leave, to exit, to go out, to get out. The verb before the out is specified, like in this case with the tekuru or teiku forms, usually soon enough. Again, the fundamental meaning to leave, to exit, to get out, further specified, potentially as in go out, come out. Other extended meanings, but we'll focus on the fundamental one, which is also the one used here. Deru is a ichidan verb, ru verb, ichidan verb, accented by the way, deru. So we can simply drop the ru to add te, make the te form. In this case, required to then add kuru, the verb to come, and so yeah, come out in this case simply. If we add te iku, iku unaccented, only kuru accented, iku means to go. That would be to go out. But yeah, in this case, to come out, of course, considering the perspective as usual, because the Pokemon come towards you, come out towards you. After that, after this tekuru form, we have koto. Again, as already mentioned, thing as in matter. So the fact of Pokemon coming out, hiding Pokemon coming out, but actually it's required, as we'll see soon enough, by the rest. We have first and foremost the subject particle ga, and then we have the verb aru, which is just like iru. The meaning is to be, as in to exist. So there is, there are also, and so literally it would be there is the fact that Pokemon come out, that hiding Pokemon come out with this. Well, at the end, of course, we also have a zo, the usual final sentence particle, male term or language, adds force, I'd say simply also emphasis in these cases. I wanted to mention that while in this case we can literally translate this as kotogaru as this, as there is the fact that, there's another usage quite important with verbs in the past form, so in the ta form of the verb. When we have ta koto ga aru, literally it would mean, the translation would be there is the fact that I usually did whatever is said in the sentence before koto, again where koto is a noun, and so technically it's yet again what comes before it a relative clause. And so it's actually used for experiences. If I use the structure verb in the past, well, actually relative clause up to verb in the past, ta, and so in ta form, then kotogaru, it's used to say I have done that experience. And yeah, so quite an important form actually, but yeah, in this case, lucky enough, it's simpler. In this case, it's simply it just explains that when you do that, what happens is that Pokemon come out. Yeah, literally, the fact is that there is the fact that Pokemon hiding Pokemon come out. Yeah, we can continue. And yeah, last but not least, we have the usual, won't translate it again, it's the same. Well, I translate it but not explain it again. Literally, the talk, the usual continuative form of a verb, hanasu in this case, which means to talk, to speak. So we have the corresponding noun because of the continuative form. Of now, do you want to hear it once more, one more time? And then kana at the end, and so I wonder if you want to hear one more time the talk of now, literally. And so what Ok has said now. Again, we have the trap that the A button says so yes. B is the one we want to pick because it says mo I. It's mo I ya. It's already good. And so it's enough. By the way, we have this ya at the end. I wondered what it was, but yeah, as I guessed, it's simply this final sentence particle, which means simply, I looked it up, yeah, simply an exclamatory particle, as it says in on Wiktionary, for example. But yeah, so yeah, we guessed correctly that it's simply like an exclamation. It's enough. And yeah, we'll say that it's enough. We don't need to hear it again. And yeah, with that, we've actually finished this speech, luckily enough, relatively quickly. So, we'll actually, we can actually go back to, we have this new item, we can actually go back and we'll do so, we'll replay the fourth course. But I'd say, considering the time, that we'll do so after our break, so our usual break around 5 minutes, so that when we are back, we'll continue from there. Okay, so let's do this. And we are back. And yeah, now we can continue. We'll go to the course, Course ni iku. And choose the fourth course again, the river. And yeah, we can immediately start it. As usual, we'll say, let's go. And our protagonist says, yosh. So, good. Okay, now we have again the... Can hit these polywags. Let's actually focus on these to potentially get... too bad that was... yeah, this is a good one for Bulbasaur. We could have got that one as well. Too bad for the Poliwags also, considering that I wanted to get them while they were jumping out from the water, but we're here first and foremost for a certain something, so we'll see in a second. Let's get a better photo there. Yeah, as you can see here, we barely saw it, but we couldn't do anything with these items yet. So it doesn't matter. You might have seen what Pokemon is there. Yeah, we can do anything. We can, with the ball, on the other hand, make these Metapods come down. So get better photos of those. Too bad that, unfortunately, didn't get a good one there. Want to hit the Psyduck again. If I can, actually. Ooh, that we haven't seen Magikarp yet. When you throw Pokemon food, sometimes they show up in rivers, of course. We have this, which is what I wanted to get first and foremost. And last but not least, we have to hit this one, this specific one, with a ball. And yeah, that activates the switch, opens the gate. Pikachu says Pikachu. And yeah, as you might have guessed, also considering you see our 0-1 go with those propulsion. But yeah, as you might have guessed, we've unlocked new courses. Of course, we'll also see when Oak tells us. But yeah, similar to how we unlocked one with the electrode in the cave. Yeah, really bad Poliwag photos, of course, by not making one come down. This one would be technically better in a way, but I want the one with the other Bulbasaur. We have Slowpoke here, as usual. This one is technically better because... but I guess it's smaller. I'll try this one. It's risky, but we'll try it. Yeah, this is technically closer, but relatively so. Those are too far, would be my guess. So I simply try this one after the evolution. I'll try this Metapod. But yeah, first and foremost, we have, when it comes also to the writings, in this case specifically the names of Pokemon, we have Magikarp. In Japanese, Koi Kingu, which comes from Koi, which is the Japanese name for carps. By the way, there are other koi, but we won't focus on them for now. This one accent on the first syllable. Yeah, it's the common carp, or also specifically the koi carp, which comes, of course, gets its name from the Japanese term koi. And then, of course, we have Kingu, which comes from English king, of course. Let's see its accent. Accent on the first syllable is expected. So, literally, the king of the carp king. And of course, it's funny considering that what Magikarp is capable of, similar to the Magikarp in English. It's ironic, but yeah. In Japanese, Carp King. We'll choose, yeah, definitely this one, which is in the center. Technically bigger also. We'll try this. We have more cloisters, but we've seen them before. I'll try this one facing towards the camera, even though I have doubts. Then we have Porygon. Actually, in Japanese, simply Porygon. Of course, in that case, if we were to write it in pure transcription, there are technically also the official romanizations, which use a mix of Japanese and English writings. And in this case would be, say, also Porygon, like in English. But yeah, same as English, it's actually from polygon. I wonder if I can find here the accent of the word Porygon. Yeah, I could find it, and also with the accent with the plugin. Accent on the first syllable, so as expected. Okay. Let's choose a picture. We technically have these ones where it's still camouflaged. I wanted one also with the apple, of course, since it's technically eating it. I'm not sure if it will actually work, but I'll try this one. And yeah, that's actually already it. Since we've already... I didn't take as many photos as possible. Well, of course, I also have these shelters I was forgetting. Not particularly great, but yeah, actually better than before, at least, potentially. So I'll try this one. But yeah, we are already done. And yeah, let's go to the professor for the check. as you can see here, Dr. Okido's check, Okido check simply with katakana writing. Yeah, we've already seen that before. We have the polywog, which is horrible. Yeah, it's Hoshino from the start, regrettable. And yeah, we have seen also that writing when he says, hey, hey. Yeah, we'll keep the previous one, of course. This one has potential, the Bulbasaur. Yeah, better size. And it's still an happy face, literally. A face that looks happy. Face and so expression by extension. Doubling of the points. Also a companion, a bigger one in this case, so yeah, more points.
Yes.
Yeah, it was better, of course. Also got to hear again yes from Professor Off. Yeah, still, unfortunately, actually the same, since it's really bad the size. I'll actually keep this one, the new one. Not that it particularly matters, they're equally bad. I didn't check actually, didn't pay attention to the writing, but I think it simply said actually the same. Yeah, oh well, if we missed something. Better size. The pose is the same because it's fishing. Technique same, of course. Tapping because it's in the middle, and so yeah, better one. Better size. The pose is the same. And so luckily enough, still the same, but we got better size. So works for us. This one should be better. Yeah, better size. Same pose. And we got the technique, and so yeah, better picture. The new one for Magikarp. So not the best size, but pose good. Just didn't pay attention. But yeah, we got Subarashi, wonderful. I have to pay more attention. But yeah, we'll definitely take more pictures of Magikarp anyway. Because sometimes we have seen, often it's in yellow, but sometimes, like in the case of Slowpoke, there might be a writing in white saying something else, like the Slowpoke fishing. Let's see. Yeah, not too smaller, worse pose technically. And yeah, so we'll keep the old Cloyster. We have Porygon. And yeah, now we see something new, like in this case in yellow, so I noticed it. There was no risk of missing it. The usual at first pose wa do kana. As for the pose, I wonder how it is implied. And Professor Oak says, "Oh, Yorokondo Ruzo kore wa." First and foremost, we have, well, of course, the usual O, as in O, just like in English. Exclamation. Then we have Yorokondo, Yorokondoru from Yorokobu, The verb itself we have already seen for sure. It means well, the best translation, the closest one to Japanese, would be to rejoice. We can also have in translation simply to be delighted, to be glad, to be pleased. I say rejoice is the better one because this is a verb, while the other ones are copula plus adjective technically. But yeah, this is a verb. It's a U-verb gotten verb, so to make the te form, we can see it in this case because of further conjugation and contraction actually. But yeah, to make the te verb, we have to follow the rules. It's in bu, so it becomes de. Again, because well, first and foremost, it became be, most likely, the continuative form, and then te. But voiced consonants used to be present nasalized in classical Japanese, so mbi. The e most certainly fell, and so mb, te. So only actually the nasal remained, and then modified the following te into de again because at the time it would have been de. And so yeah, literally how you write the te form nowadays, yoroko de. The way I don't think I mentioned, but yeah, yorokopu is accented, so yorokonde. In this case, then we have the form to then add oru. Oru is the humble form of this oru. There are other ones, but yeah, this one is the humble form of the verb iru. Same meaning, so to be as in to exist. There is, there are. But after that form, of course, the usual continuing action or state. In this case, technically, simply as in it is rejoicing, as in it's the continuing action of rejoicing in this moment. And then, of course, as I mentioned, it's contracted. And so, yorokonde oru, de o becomes simply do. Yorokondoru. And yeah, that's why we get this form. Then we have, of course, zo again, the final sentence particle. Force, I'd say simply emphasis potentially. Can also be used for commands, but not, as we have seen more often, simply force, as in, I'd say, simply emphasis. Notice that then after that we have a space, and then korewa. Usually we would have korewa at the start, and then the rest of the sentence. In this case, we have them inverted, simply for effect. Literally, we say before, it's rejoicing, this one. Yeah, so similar to when we change the order of words in English, we do so for to add focus on certain ones, emphasis on them, and so on. Yeah. So a marked sentence structure, but yeah, the meaning is still actually the same. Simply. Korewa again. As for this, in translation better maybe this one, but yeah, in Japanese it's simply this, as in the pronoun, again, kore. And then, of course, we have the points. Sen, Yongya, Hyaku, Ten, so 1,400 points. And then, of course, Jana, copula, and Tisna, final sentence particle. I'd say in this case, maybe like so similar to yo. But yeah, so we have seen this writing. Yeah, of course, in the middle. And yeah, so we get Subarashi. And we have, of course, another Jitsuwana, of course, in this case, as I mentioned, but you could have simply also guessed it, because we unlocked a new course, a new path. And yeah, luckily we have time, so we can continue. And yeah, he says first and foremost the usual Yao Kairi. And yeah, again, that we have found how do you say it? I'm currently forgetting. A branching path. Although we have seen it with other translations which were technically closer to it, I'll quickly check it. Literally then of the middle of the course, in the course. Yeah, branch, road, forked road were the terms better for Wakare Michi. And then, of course, the usual Toru. You found a branch road, a forked road in the middle of the course. Of the middle of the course, literally. And yeah, again, we see this same as before, and so I've just tried to examine that the branch road, forked road. From there, it's connected to a new course. It looks like it's connected to a new course. I made it so I made it in advance. We have Shite Oku in the past, of course, in this case, so that you can go implied there, even also from the lab, literally the research place. It is that you, in this case, in the sense, you should try to go there, of course, implied, immediately. Yeah, same as we have seen before, so I simply translated it with, we didn't examine it again. But yeah, so we can actually go to course. And yeah, we have unlocked the 5th course. Its name is Do ku tsu, which means cave. You might have heard it before, if you've ever heard the Japanese name of a certain game. Cave Story, it's called in Japanese Do ku tsu Monogatari. story, again, Monogatari. We have seen it and explained it in the Kirby's Adventure series because it's present there in the title. We've even studied its kanji. But yeah, Dokutsu, by the way, unaccented as expected because it's again a Chinese compound. Cave, cavern, grotto, by cave, the fundamental meaning. And then we have what our protagonist says about it. First and foremost, we have Nandaka, Ayashi, Dokutsuda. We have again Nandaka. Literally, it would be Nani, in this case Nan in its shortened form. Nani means what, it's the interrogative. Da, the copula. Ka, the interrogative particle. With this da in the middle, we make, well, with this da in the middle is the only different part, but we've seen in general that when you combine an interrogative with the an interrogative pronoun, an interrogative word with ka, you get the corresponding sam word. So Nanika, the usual one you'd find, would be for what, becomes something. For example, with dare, who, someone, dareka, someone. In this case, with this da, with this copula in the middle, it would technically be literally is it what? But yeah, it's simply actually used as an adverb for somewhat, the closest translation to the Japanese one. Somehow, but yeah, in the sense of a little. So yeah, somewhat, somehow, in that sense. So an adverb, and then we have an adjective, ayashi, again, suspicious. Then we have dokutsu, cave, and then last but not least the copula da. And so yeah, somewhat, as in a little, suspicious cave. Sorry, it's a somewhat suspicious cave. Of course, we have the copula at the end, so it's not explicited. Of course, in Japanese they don't need it like in English. Then we have Mimi o sumasu to ironna oto ga kikoete kisou. First and foremost, we have Mimi, which means ear. Of course, also ears, plural. Accent on the last syllable, Mimi. By extension, also hearing, ear for music, and so on. But yeah, the fundamental meaning is ear, as in the body part. Then we have the object particle o. Then we have sumasu. although I can already tell you that this mimi or sumasu is an expression which means to listen carefully, or even better, to strain one's ears closer to the Japanese one, because we have this verb sumasu, which on its own, well, there are other sumasu, but this one with this kanji means to clear, to make clear. And so, yeah, by extension, it becomes to strain one's ears to listen carefully. Yeah, clearly from the fundamental meaning, to clear, to make clear, literally to make, to clear one's ears, as in to stray one's ears. Then we have to, which in this case is the one of the forms of the conditional if when, also based like in those in the English translation, if when, and so actually also temporal in Japanese, so simply when. But yeah, as a conditional, this is the closest one to the zero conditional in English. When, if the action of the verb with this, with to happens, then the action of the rest of the sentence inevitably happens. In this case, although also considering the rest of the sentence, it's most likely simply in the temporal sense. When you strain your ears, when one strains one's ears, then we have ironna. We've seen it, not sure if in this series, but previous ones for sure. Iroiro is an adjective. An adjective comes from the doubling of the word iro, accented on the last syllable on its own. Iroiro, on the other hand, is unaccented, so be careful. Iro, the single word is color, and so also several extended meanings, but let's focus on the fundamental one, color. And so by repeating it, we literally have color, color, and so a variety of colors. And so it simply becomes, by extension, a variety of all sorts of many different. And yeah, that's the meaning of iroiro. Can be used also as an adverb. With the top particle, we've seen it that the top particle can be used with certain words to make adverbs. Other ones we use other ways. But yeah, so variously and so on. But yeah, in this case, it's an adjective, and we would have na to then add the following noun. But notice that here we have ironna. It's simply a contraction. The second iro becomes simply and then we have the na. But yeah, the meaning is the same, ironna. Then we have the noun modified by iroiro, ironna in our case, which is oto. I check its accent, but the meaning is sound, noise. Fundamental meaning usually sound. can also be used for noise technically. Actually accented on the last syllable, so oto. So various sounds, noises. Then we have the subject particle ga. Then we have, last but not least, the verb kikoete and then kiso. First and foremost, the verb kikoeru. You might notice that it's similar to kiku, which means to listen. It's because it's actually derived from that. Kikoeru is technically a peculiar, special form of the potential, which has the specific meaning of to be heard, as in to be audible. That's why I said the potential. If something is audible, is something that can be heard. To be audible, to reach one's ears. Other extended meanings, but the fundamental one is this one, to be heard, as in to be audible. And as you can see here, we have the usual, the standard form. What is can be heard, what is audible, takes the subject particle, oto in our case. Kikoeru is a ru verb, it's then verb, so we can drop the ru and add te to make the te form. The form in this case required to add the verb kuru. We can see it here because of further conjugation. Again, to come. You'll often see this verb kikoeru combined with te form and then kuru. Again, te kuru, simply to mark in this case the direction in which the verb, the action of the verb happens. And so in this case, because something, the sound comes to us, and so that's why we often use this kikoeru with the tekuru form. But here we have kiso. First and foremost, we have to change kuru into its continuative form. Unfortunately, kuru, just like suru, to do, unaccented, unlike kuru, which is accented, it's a completely irregular verb, so we simply have to know, have to remember that its continuative form is ki. In this case, required to then add so. Again, the auxiliary, which we have already seen even today, which means it appears that, it looks like. Technically, we would need. We have seen that so is an adjective. So we technically should add the copula, but we can also imply it, like in this case. And yes, as you can see here, we see how to make again this form with the verbs in this case, unlike with adjectives as we have seen before. The translation then simply becomes when you strain your ears, various sounds, noises, considering the context, can be heard are audible. Well, of course, then we should say it looks like, it seems like various noises can be heard, are audible. And then, of course, again, the direction in which, because the sounds come to us. Yeah, with that, I'd say we can actually play also this stage, the 5th stage. Yeah, let's go. And yeah, funny enough, we start right where we were when we have a grimer there. Ooh, bad that I missed the Zubat. We have this Bulbasaur, but it looks weird if we throw. Yeah, when you throw an Boru, a pester ball in English, you reveal that it's actually Tito. And yeah, we have this grimer here. By throwing enough pester balls, it evolves into Mac. Yeah, we have more quote-unquote Bulbasaurs, actually Dittos. We actually transform them. Actually use the apple there, the Pokemon food. We have coffee and also a Jigglypuff. We actually try to save the Jigglypuff from the coffee. I took that picture there. I'd like to get a better Whipping Bell picture. But even more importantly, you might have recognized this setup. Yeah, it's the same as for... Well, let's try to save also that Jigglypuff. Yeah, it's the same as the Charmeleon and how you evolve it into Charizard. Yeah, there's that. Getting that will be difficult. I'd like to do it because it's a special picture, but it's easier said than done. Yeah, now I'm clearly too late. We'll see if I can manage to do it. If I can't, I'll simply mention what that is. Yeah, here we have Jinx. I stop there. I actually missed one Jigglypuff. But as you can hear, we have Jigglypuff's song in Japanese. Yeah, you can have 3 of them. I actually disrupted the song. So we get the angry Jigglypuff. But yeah, with that we have played also the 5th course. And of course we have a lot of all these new Pokemons to check. Their names first and foremost. Yeah, let's get some of these photos. First and foremost, let's start with the names. The one of Grimer, which in Japanese is Beto Beta. First and foremost, of course, clearly from an onomatopoeia. I've seen them often in Japanese Pokemon names. Beto Beto, which means sticky. Ah, by the way, okay, interesting. Unlike most onomatopoeias, which we have seen are accented on the first syllable, this one is unaccented, so be careful. Beto Beto. And then we also have actually beta as an onomatopoeia. This one actually accented as usual. Again, sticky, same as beto. Or other meanings technically from that, thickly painted, heavily applied, all over, of pasting, stamping, and so on. Technically also clinging of a person, as in they are sticky. But yeah, fundamental one, sticky again, and then all those extended ones. Notice the longer vowel at the end. Technically, as can also be seen in its official transcription, official romanization, but better, yeah, it becomes like that long A at the end is they added the suffix from English. Again, because of course, doesn't exist as a sound in English, in Japanese. And so it becomes the closest vowel A, and also longer. Again, similar to how such sounds often are in English accents that don't have the R sounds. Classical example, car becomes car. I can receive pronunciation of British English. But yeah, so we have Grimer, it's Japanese name, and yeah, we're definitely going for this one, not those ones. Before checking out Ditto, I wanted, of course, to check out Mac first and foremost. We'll try this one bigger, although I'm kind of worried by its because it's turned the other way around. Yeah, the Japanese name of Mac is simply beton. Again, first and foremost, beto. In this case, not even simply beto and not beta. And then ton. Most likely ton as in English, as in a metric ton usually. That is 1,000 kilograms. By the way, accented on the first syllable, well, accented, so it can be on the, it has to stay on the top, because it's the syllable that matters, not the mores. Yeah, simply beto plus ton. Yeah, we'll choose this one. Then I want to go back. Well, I could have continued technically, but I have technically this Bulbasaur, but it's far, and it's actually not a Bulbasaur. I still show it to Hawk, but yeah, no. We have Ditto, which in Japanese is called Metamon. Well, of course, mon is from, you might guess it, is from monster. Monster in Japanese, like Pocket Monster, Pocket Monsters, Pokémon, shortened. By the way, monster accented on the first syllable as expected. Meta. of course, in this case, from metamorphosis, and also, of course, simply the prefix meta. But yeah, first and foremost, metamorphosis, and so undergo transformation. And yeah, also simply the prefix, just like in English. And so meta, transforming monster, because of course of Tito's peculiarity. We try to choose a good one. We have this with the well, the one with the apple technically would be bad, might give us the points for that. Yeah, try this one with also the Tito behind it more visible. Then we have coughing. In Japanese, dogasu. Do, most likely, even without checking. Well, gasu, of course, on gas. Actually, with a lengthening of the vowel, which isn't present in the word on its own in Japanese. We'll check its accent if I can find it, but most likely yes. Accented on the first syllable, just like in English. Gasu. Here with the lengthening of the vowel to stylize it, of course. Technically, in the official romanization, dogars, because of that, again, same as beta, beto. The do at the start most certainly comes, as also Bulbapedia mentions, from doku, which is the Japanese word for poison, shortened in this case. By the way, accented on the last syllable on its own, doku. Shortened would be in this case. But unlike Bulbapedia, I'd also add another meaning. When used as a prefix, do becomes is a prefix which means extreme, ultra, mega, totally, very much, precisely, exactly. Also used as a stupid something, damn something. By the way, it comes from most likely simply from the word do, which means degree. Is also the one we have seen as a counter for occurrences, even though in this case, by the way, do on its own usually unaccented the word. Most likely degree by extension becomes extreme degree, and so as a prefix extreme, ultra, mega, and so on. And so yeah, I added that as a translation for this, the name of this Pokemon. We have the name of coughing in Japanese. Let's try to find a better one. Oh boy, really bad ones. I simply show not sure if we'll try this one really close. Potentially will be better than the other one, but I have doubts. yeah, we have all the Jigglypuff ones. First and foremost, let's check its Japanese name. Funny enough, it's simply Purin in Japanese. Sorry, I want also to find it, but just to check it. Also on Bulbapedia, but yeah, here it is. But yeah, first and foremost, Purin is actually the Japanese word for pudding. You can see that in this case they stick to a closer pronunciation because, of course, pudding, if you pronounce it that the in the middle is often pronounced as the, which is the sound also used for the R for the R, what we write as R in transcription in Japanese. And so yeah, that's why. By the way, accented on the first syllable as expected. And yeah, so simply Jigglypuff's Japanese name is Purin. As in pudding. By the way, technically also used for similar, not for strictly pudding, but also for sweet, soft sweets like creme caramel. Bulbapedia also mentions as potential origins of the word, well, definitely pudding because of its soft body, potentially pucci, which is usually used as a prefix for small. Actually simply seems from in French, in this case, petit. If without the change in Japanese of ta, chi, tsute, to, if you kept it like maybe it was at the time when it came petit. Yeah, as you can see why it's closer to petit from French. But in this case, actually, in Japanese, accent on the first syllable, so be careful. Pucci. But yeah, small. Potentially also, as it says, from pretty. Because, of course, it would be in Japanese, should be purity. Yeah, it is purity. Accented, by the way. Yeah, no, unfortunately it isn't available there. I'll quickly check also on the physical dictionary. Okay, got the physical dictionary. Let's see if I can find it here. Puri. T. Still. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, unfortunately it isn't there either. So, yeah. My guess would be like in English, so purity on the re. Yeah, those are other potential meanings behind Jigglypuff's Japanese name. For sure, Purin, as in because of its soft body. Yeah, we of course choose the one singing, this one in particular. I take the angry one for the album. But yeah, let's go back. We have Whipping Bell. Let's see. In Japanese, as you can see already here, Utsudon. Which, well, we have the don as a suffix, let's say simply. But yeah, first and foremost, it comes from Utsubo Kazura, which is the word, Japanese word for peach plant. You can guess why, of course. Okay, and by the way, accented on Kazura, on the Ka, because Utsubo Kazura. Well, technically, because it's actually a compound noun, because Kazura on its own, unaccented, means creeping plant, creeper, vine, liane. And then we have this Utsu before it. Well, or even better, actually, this Utsubo, unaccented, which means quiver. As it explains here, it was actually a cylindrical and worn on the back or hip quiver. In Japan, of course, at the time. And yes, so literally would be a quiver, creeping plant. And yes, so simply that's how it then became. We got the name for the noun for peach plant. Sorry that I want to quickly check. So, you know, usually that and that's it. Yeah, then we have this don as a suffix. Maybe again from the tooth, although it's weird in this case compared to, of course, Charizard. Maybe just a don as in well, it could be an adverb, actually an onomatopoeia, usually a bang, a thump or a crash. But in this case, more likely, I'd say maybe the don seen in Yadon, the one for dull, slow, well, dull, also dull-brained. But yeah, after that we have, we'll first and foremost choose it, of course. I wonder if this one might be, yeah, no, that's kind of far. I'll actually try this one. This one we'll try. And yeah, after that we have, of course, its evolution, Victory Bell. In Japanese, simply called Utsubotto. First and foremost, again, Utsubo Kazura. And by the way, again, as I mentioned, compound noun, and that's why it's accented on the ka. I didn't mention that. And so on the first syllable of the second part of the compound, a typical spot for the accent in such compounds. Yeah, from Utsubo Kazura, again, pitcher plant, and most likely from Botto. Here we have Botto, of course, because of the preceding Utsubo. But yeah, most likely from Potto, which means, of course, pot in English. Should be accent on the first syllable. We'll see if it isn't an exception. Yeah, it's accent on the first syllable, Potto. Yeah, let's choose one picture. Okay, this one should be the best one. There technically are bigger ones, but yeah, this is front. There shouldn't be issues. I'm checking if I didn't miss anything, but yeah, I didn't. We have, last but not least, I think, only Jinx, and yeah, we'll choose this one. In Japanese, called Rujura. Jinx. Well, first and foremost, I'd say Ruju. From English. Try to actually check if sorry, I have to check it this way because otherwise the dictionary finds me another thing. Rogue, search for rogue instead of the word rouge. But yeah, it's ruju. It's also used as a noun in Japanese from rouge. Especially notice that it's ruju to simulate the pronunciation rouge in French, from French. Accent on the first syllable, like in that case, actually, in this case, so perfect. Rouge as especially lip rouge, so lipstick. Of course, considering the Jinx makeup. Which is, by the way, makeup typical of Kurogyaru. Sorry, wait, I'm... trying to find if it... Well, yeah, it's a typical fashion for these girls, and yeah, Gyaru in that is from gal, English gal. But yeah, here we simply have Ruju, and then this additional Ra. Simply for sterilization, let's say. Yeah, we choose this one. We quickly choose, save also this angry Jigglypuff, this one in particular. Yeah, with that, we would have then to go to the professor, but yeah, we definitely don't have time for that. So we'll actually end the stream here. I'll first and foremost make a save state here. So next time we can continue from here. And then I can close. And yeah, with that, we have finished playing for today. Today, we got a new item from Professor Oak, the Pester Ball, Ieiaboru in Japanese. We replayed the fourth course with it because we used it to unlock the fifth course. We also played that, but yeah, we didn't have time to also go to the professor's check, and so yeah, next time, which should be on Wednesday unless plans change, we'll continue from there, and so yeah, tackle the professor check. We'll see what happens after that. Okay, see you next time.